Hello, and welcome back to episode 7 of Rule the Waves 2 German Sluggers. Last time we left off, April 1911, about to go to war with France and Russia, and we designed quite a few different ships, including the destroyers that were already built out. We'll start rolling off these raiders as soon as that design study is done. And off screen, just briefly, I'd taken a look at making a heavy cruiser that had been requested by someone else. And I wasn't able to produce that right at the beginning. I kind of used the spirit of what that design philosophy was to make our starting heavy cruiser. But the Victoria Luises are starting to get a little bit long in the tooth. They don't quite pack the punch they used to, which the original request was for 10 inches, but our 9-inch guns were superior to the 10-inch guns. And like a 7-inch secondary, which again, our 7-inch guns still are terrible. The armor is not that good anymore. Those turrets can easily be punched through with current amount of armor piercing we're starting to see from our opponents. And they're kind of slow. So I would like to replace these cruisers, actually. I may do a machinery rebuild that's under consideration, but with the armor being as low as it is, I'm really thinking we should just replace them altogether. There's our design. Now, I had intended to do a lot of this on screen, show you all what I was doing and thinking, but I kind of optimized it without thinking about it, and so I didn't get to show you everything. But the original design, which was intended for 1900, was 16,000 tons, 4 10-inch guns, which we're using the 10-inch. If we go to 11, we'll be at a battle cruiser, and we don't want a battle cruiser. So 10-inch max, taking advantage of the triples, and we're going to put 3 centerline turrets, which is way more, but we need to be able to future-proof this to an extent. And then a smattering of 7-inch guns, which went with 8-inch. Our 7-inch are very low quality, and the 6-inch are just too small. And the 4-inch, despite the request was for 4-inch guns for tertiaries, but our 3-inch guns too small in my opinion, and the 4-inch are medium quality, so we went with the 5-inch, which we've been using with everything else because it is high quality. I could tone down on that some, but it does not weigh that much. We used 12 8-inch guns because 14 is too many for this displacement, and we armored them against themselves. Quick look: 7 inches of belt, 1 inch of deck, and 7 inches of belt, 1.5, 2 inches of deck. Now, you'll note we have not splinter-proofed this. Splinter resistant, and the lack of having 2 inches above the citadel makes her vulnerable at long ranges. It's unfortunate, but I can't quite seem to find the weight, because I am not going to reduce these turrets or the secondaries below 8 inches. The belt, it's a sacrifice. They're proofed against 6-inch guns. This is more of a light cruiser combatant. Super combatant, if you want to say it that way. And I don't want to reduce her below 25 knots of speed. So I need to thank Lightning Dragon for the design concept. I'm not sure I'm not sure I quite like it fully. And I think there's some optimization to be done. but it can wait, and we'll pull this up and tweak it some once we get these light cruisers rolling out. So I would like to replace them, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do it before we're at war. Well, as things stand now, France, Russia, looking at a war with them. We want to prioritize Northern Europe. The question kind of becomes, where would we like to push for an invasion? Our invasion range is not very far so far at this point. We can go into Tunisia. We can go into the Baltic states. And so that's where the real choice is. But we're waiting for those light cruisers to be designed, and I'm not going to delay the game any further. I like the disposition of our forces. And so, let's move on. Absolutely not. Almost have early airships. Can we build? No, we cannot build an airbase yet. Yeah. I apologize, my voice is still a little bit rough as I'm recovering from this. I still have a little bit of drainage, so my voice may give out. I apologize, I'll have to cut it short if that happens. Improved triple turrets already. And airships. Alright, the Nymph is ready for construction. Let's try to get 8 of those. Just to start. Where are we at our building program? I think I just looked at this, and base capacity is looking pretty good. 230, 300. Everywhere we have a base. Perfect. Dump a little money into larger docks. Starting to get to a size where I'm not sure we really need to be pushing it anymore. Improved diving gear, so submarines. Take a look at the new Russian battlecruiser. 14-inch guns, that's a threat, but there's only 2 turrets. The secondary's ignorable. The speed's fair. The armor is not bad. So this is a fair opponent. Kind of undergunned though. There's our 14-inch guns. Ship is easily surpassing her design speed. That is excellent. And now we might be at war. Because I'm going to back the Kaiser wholeheartedly. There we are. Russia joined the war, and Italy will join the war with us. That is not a bad disposition. Oh, excellent. Italy's already in it. Just destroyers. Interesting. And we got, said Italy joined us. I don't see how. All right. And we have not made contact. And completely missed each other. France with a ton of destroyers. Somehow we missed each other. Yeah, we just crossed each other's paths. Visibility was not good enough. So we just missed each other in the night. Marginal victory. Take another look. We're outnumbered by each of them, each of our opponents individually. And the Italians are off in the Mediterranean. I guess it's a minimum. Not ideal. I'm going to use the G9s as escorts. The V5s will be trade protection, which they're obsolete. They're going to get scrapped soon. I might just let that happen. They're really old. We've got our heavy cruisers scattered about, and most of our fleet concentrated in Northern Europe. Let's take a look. What have we got? Mediterranean with France down there. Looking a bit rough for our heavy cruiser. West Africa could be a little dicey, but should be fine. Southeast Asia will be a little rough. Elsewhere, it looks like we're doing just fine. We have additional funding. I think we'll get 2 more raiders building. Two more than that. That'll put us barely in the negative. Could go further, but we'll wait and see. Alright. Dominating in a few areas. We are being dominated, so they're going to get some points. Get more of our newer, better battlecruisers. More accuracy. And unlimited centerline turrets. Trade war. We're winning somehow. I think that was just the luck. Cruiser action, so we're looking at superiority in battle cruisers. Slight drawback in heavy cruisers. And we don't have any of the light cruisers out. Can't wait to see these. Oh yeah, so many Italian forces joining. 2 heavy cruisers though. These are old heavy cruisers that I was just saying they're not quite where they need to be anymore. And contact. Come up to max speed, close in. 2 heavy cruisers against light cruisers with a destroyer escort. I can do that with these heavy cruisers. A lot of French destroyers. It's alright, we can allow our secondaries to take out those destroyers. Focusing on possibly getting one of these cruisers. Getting a few hits in. Taking light gunfire from their destroyers. Those should be 4-inch, might be 3-inch. 3-inch. Wow, those are legacy destroyers. And we're returning fire with 6-inch. Ooh, medium hit. Bounces though. And we take more light fire from the Vesta. So that's 6-inch guns. 6-inch hit to the conning tower, not an issue. We return with a 9-inch, a 6-inch. That destroyer just dove in, so in case that was just within their torpedo range, which it could be, we'll put a little jig. 2 9-inch guns into the light cruiser. They can't take many of those. Yeah, she's lost speed. Takes another 9-inch. Blinking away at the destroyers. Another 9-inch. Okay, we take a hit. Oh wow, we managed to knock out one of their turrets already too. Another 9-inch hit. Another 9-inch hit. One of their destroyers goes down. One of the Russian ones. Getting the secondaries into the Palada. The Vesta is going slow as well. He is. Bouncing a light shell. Getting some more gunfire in. And now they're trying to scare us off. Which will work. But not before we dump a bunch of main battery fire into them. And the plot is done for at this point. We're going to close in and try to get to the Vesta. Right? As torpedoes, so we'll give her a wide berth. As night falls, and they have a port they can retreat to fairly quickly. Come on, switch gunfire. Have better targets. Alright, now we're taking on the Vesta. Let's swing wide a little bit. Just in case they have torpedoes as good as ours. Not expecting the Russians to, but I do expect the French. Gunfire into their destroyers, which they're using as an effective screen. Evasive fire, or maneuvers. I think we got another one of the destroyers. And they decide to turn around. They'll slow us down. It takes us a longer time to get up to speed than it does for them. Being a ship that's 2 to 3 times heavier. And yeah, they're running for port now. A couple destroyers and a cruiser looks like what we're going to get out of this. And turn around, set for cruise. Accelerate time and we'll just hang around. Unknown ship there. Ah, she hasn't sunk yet. I guess 3 destroyers in the cruiser. Drop speed. There we go. And now we'll just run out the clock. So I think that went pretty well. Ooh. They're actually still out there. I don't think we can get there in time. So they ducked into port, shot out the south end, and came to harass. Encountered one of our destroyers. Possibly that one. Possibly that one. We have so many. AMC. Or maybe they're up there. Or maybe they're two separate forces hit by a torpedo. Probably them up there, but I don't think we have time to close. This may have been one of their AMCs down here. By the way, I don't think we're going to see contact again. Because as soon as they break contact with whatever they're firing on, this battle will finish. Because we're over time. Okay. So we lost 2 transports. Almost got in a 4th destroyer, but not quite. Minor victory. Fail the take. And out of that scenario. And the enemy is blockading them. Which I don't think that's not going to happen. Not unless we get in some fairly large fleet battles. I don't think we'll see these light cruisers. So I think we're going to go back, take a look at our Ariadne. See where we might be able to get it a little bit better. Honestly, I think we might reduce these down, delete the tertiary guns. We fit 24. I have a lot in triples. Or we can not take the rate of fire bonus. Nope, we still do. Because it's a turret. So we'd have to stick them in casemates. But we can better protect them in triples than just take the rate of fire loss. And then with some technology, we'll be able to make up for that. What are our 5-inch looking like nowadays? Right, like the belt. Because we were armoring the belt for 6 inches. With that, can we splinterproof? We can. We can bump up the belt 5 inches. Could make her a little bit larger. Or a better belt. But these aren't really designed for fleet action. They're designed for small engagements between 1 to 2 ships each out in our foreign station holdings. I would like to get them faster, but that's going to be very expensive. No, I think I'm going to leave it like that. Ooh, I can recover a little bit more. Get 5.5 for a flat deck. Which I'm not against. Go ahead and save that. Design it. We'll get those started for whatever the next war is. Looks like Russia and France are moving out. And we haven't set a target yet. Tunisia or Riga. Kind of like Riga. We'll do Riga for now. We can get ashore there, that'll be great. Wow, they didn't manage to sink anything, and we managed to sink 4 of their submarines. 90 victory points, well needed because of the blockade. Cruiser action, hopefully this can be a bit more decisive. But it looks like it's just 2 heavy cruisers again. I really need a fleet action to knock down their heavy fleets. Hopefully break that blockade. Can't afford these because that blockade's going to hurt victory point and unrest wise. Now I could get an AMC out. Get a class of these with the superior 5-inch guns. They build really fast. How fast can I make them? Limited to 21 knots. Limited to 40 mines. They don't need to be anything special. Only thing we could add is that we can put swivels on these, I believe. Of course, I do that every time. I need to look more closely. Nope, that makes a destroyer. Okay. And that means we can't do submerged ones either. Yeah. That's our mine-laying AMC. Sign's not legal. Only carrying 40 mines. Okay then. We can build them immediately and they'll be out in 4 months. So let's get a whole slew of these. Four months. Get 2 sets. This will burn a lot of money, but we need to be hitting back at them as much as we can. Could get another set of subs. 10 more of these. For 20 because they're cheap. Alright, 36 AMCs, 4 months. It'll almost deplete our income. Or, I mean, our reserve. And it will be finishes. Okay, we get medium subs. We can cancel the old ones. Still can't touch our merchants, which is good. It means the blockade doesn't hurt as much as it could. Raid on shipping, large. This might be more the battle we need. Oh, yes. Alright, what are these heavy cruisers doing? They're independent. Those ones are our scouts. They can continue to scout. I would like these ones to screen primary force. I believe these are screening. If that's the case, they can add their guns to the battle line. Which I don't think we have 2 divisions of battleships. So they'll just fall in. If they're going to do that, I think we'll set these ones. We'll have our heavy cruisers tailing behind our 3 battleships. Alright, squad max. We can see scouting forces down here. It's not ideal since they're close to their port. Interesting. Might need to leave them on scouting. This is just a corvette that we have to run into. Take out this gunboat. Oh yeah, we'll get all the survivors we can. Then we'll cut down here. Visibility is 14,000. Is daytime. Another ship. I doubt we'll be able to get within range of it. Probably going to retreat into port successfully. Yes. So we'll pull back around and start looking for their primary fleet. This is narrow enough. I think I am going to put these scout again. They've got the speed, they can pull ahead. Especially with nighttime falling. That looks like it might be their force. So he once again pull them into a core behind the other cruiser division. It won't come to full speed yet. Perhaps I should have left them scouting. There they are. These are probably forward elements. Maybe not. Already taking heavy fire on one of our destroyers. The night battle. Get our destroyers doing their thing. 15-inch guns. This is going to be very ugly. That is not something our old dreadnoughts, our pre-dreadnoughts, are designed to handle. The armor. I don't think we can even handle that. Not with -1s. Critical hit. Yes, this is looking very bad for us. Lots of gunfire exchanged, heavy guns. Taking a ton of gunfire. Not too much in return, actually. But what return fire there is pretty ugly. Especially at ranges like these. Want to keep maneuvering for their torpedoes. Guess up to squad max, I'd forgotten about that. Lots of gunfire. I can't keep up with all that. I just have to trust that our ships are doing the right thing. I'm wondering how they got so separated. Port. Oh, those are the destroyers. 4. Now I did a lot of maneuvering, but I'm surprised they're so far behind. Really use them. We do have torpedoes in the water. Signals misunderstood. Taking some heavy fire. More torpedoes out. I'm gonna pull away to starboard with this cruiser, which I think might be a destroyer closing in. The way it's maneuvering. I don't want to get involved in any of that. Those look like light ships. Weissenberg taking hits, penetrating hits. Let's reform up with our heavy cruisers because we're going to need them. Some gunfire exchange, not much. Get some more hits into their dreadnought. Looks like we're getting more hits into them than they are us, but this is utter chaos. Of course, it's a night action. Got a torpedo off at this heavy cruiser squadron. And then nice now takes probably from that destroyer. Well, let's take a look. See if we can get you detached. Go home. Honestly, I think we should turn to starboard to avoid torpedoes. Come back around. And we are taking a lot of gunfire now. Hooray, we sank 2 ships. We are tearing up their destroyers. Those heavy secondaries that we've been using. Oh, we hit a destroyer with a torpedo. Probably nothing left. I think we want to go starboard again. See random torpedoes everywhere. Come back out. Port. Wittelsbach is temporarily detached. Where is she at? Not hurt. She's good. How's the Hessen? She's been kind of on her own since the initial salvo. Alright, come back to port. Avoid those destroyers. Get some good gunfire at the Beauvais. First Bismarck is taking a bunch of fire from that battle cruiser. If she's low enough, I want to retreat her. Keep turning. Yeah, I think the first Bismarck will be not making it. She's taking too many hits. She slowed down too much. Yeah, speed of 3. Actually going to say, where's our cruiser division? Why aren't you detached? You're supposed to be detached and going home. Took a torpedo. Set you all for independent action. We'll keep coming to port. That looks like a pretty good torpedo towards the Beauvais. And she takes it. I have only the one. Oh, I have to get to starboard if I want to try to get another torpedo into her. That's a good round for us. Beauvais is definitely slowed. Getting too close for torpedoes, so she can't counter torpedo us. She does have submerged. Hopefully not collide here. Back to starboard. If we can get this dreadnought, that's a win. Not the kind of action we were hoping for. But this is size of action we were looking for sure. Yeah, first Bismarck is done for. A little bit risky doing that, but I was trying to give a chance for our starboard torpedo to get into the Beauvais. He's torpedoes everywhere. Come down a little bit. Turn. I don't think the Beauvais is making way at all. And I'm going to start looking for other targets. Especially with our destroyers unloading into the Beauvais. Oh, they're leaving? Okay, just gonna do that. Make you core. Do the battle division. And cruiser division 10. Cruiser division 8. 4. Select everyone back up. Send them for independent action, hoping they'll engage these guys, and they're wandering off. Might be too far, they won't get the signal, and that was just a poor choice on my part. Come back around to whatever that was. Transport. Yep, need a transport. Sunk now. He hit where? Up north. That's -1 destroyer for them. We'll bring it down a little bit. Give our stokers a break while we're not actively engaged. $16,000 points for 2 ships. Alright, we're getting one of our cruiser divisions back. The other one's still wandering off. Yeah, she didn't get the signal. That's fine. We'll do what we can. Unknown ship north of Dunkirk. Pillbox got some flooding. How are we doing? Weissenberg is okay. Wittelsbach's got some flooded compartments. Essen doing just fine after that first set of critical hits. Alright. Another unknown ship. Most of the sightings are up there. I know there are some ships down here in the channel, but we're not seeing them. Unknown ship. Alright. Slow. Maneuverable. Thinking that's probably a transport. Now, seeing something. Something small. That's not good. So glad they detach destroyers to escort ships that are detached to go to home port. Used to be they would just go all on their own. Not optimal. Alright, accelerate time. Alright, we found something. That's our squad max. Who is limited? Probably flotation damage to the Wittelsbach. Yeah. Well, if she has to detach, she has to detach. Close in. Those are escorts. Yep. So we don't want to go on a straight course. Constantly maneuvering to throw off any torpedo fire. Do a little bit of a zigzag. Try to close in. Close enough to identify. Start zigzagging. Close in. Zigzag. Close in. Zigzag. Close in. Oh, that is not a battleship. Oh, it is. Got confused between the two of them. All the squadron attack. This is close enough. If our destroyers move in, they can definitely launch if they have any torpedoes left. That destroyer's in a dangerous position. We'll keep coming in. Too late, we took a torpedo. Hessen will likely have to be detached. Her status. Yeah, that is a lot of flooding. So she doesn't have 3 pips of damage yet. That flotation is going to rise rapidly. Hansa taking some hits. We probably actually don't want to engage further because of those large guns. Our damage control is doing a fantastic job. We've taken some pretty serious hits, and the ships have persevered. Because of the length of this... Oh, nice. Because of the length of this battle, I might have to split this up, but I'll likely just leave it as a longer episode. Turn away, turn away. Stay engaged, but try to stay at as much range as we can during a night action, which nighttime daybreak is a long ways away. We would have more of an advantage during the daytime, I would think. Submerged torpedo flat hit. Which one? Okay, I have none left. We'll do a jink. Oh, we're losing the Hessen. That's unfortunate. That was just too much. That's the risk of these night actions. But I wasn't going to let it make me meek and unwilling to engage. Alright, accelerate speed. Light cruiser. Where's this unknown ship? Oh, up there. That might go bad for you, Mr. Destroyer. Yeah, it looks like that might be where their battle line went. Getting off a torpedo. Getting some fire into one of their AMCs. There goes that Bovin that we got some fire into. But she's doing fine. Took some damage. But those 15-inch guns hurt. E40 signals. Yeah, they're moving in to finish her off, not knowing she's already done for. Yes. Pounding the Hessen. Might be able to snake in and get some gunfire in on their escorts. Lost our G40. Looking for those destroyers. We're gonna miss them though. I don't see them. So we'll head up north. Gonna see daybreak just barely, I think. Stay in the vicinity, but I'm not really interested in more combat. Just kind of looking for transports, corvettes, targets of opportunity of one kind or another. Like whatever this is, it's not a destroyer, it's too slow. So it's a corvette. So no worries about torpedoes then. And she's done. And nicks us a few more points. Possibly the same with this one. Yeah, it's maneuvering like a corvette or a destroyer, but it's going too slow. And there she is. Probably a little too far. Accelerate again. So what was the tail of the take? Who had the advantage? We had the advantage by 35,000 points, mostly because we got that Beauvais, I think. See it in there. Let's see. PV Kaiman, Beauvais class. Yes, I was right. So there's the tail of the take if you want to take a look at it. Lots of ships sunk. We lost one of our old pre-dreads, a heavy cruiser, and a destroyer for one of their brand new dreadnoughts with 15-inch guns. 7 destroyers, 3 corvettes, and 2 auxiliaries, one being a transport, one being an AMC, armed merchant cruiser. And we achieved our objective. So that is a win. I would call that a major victory myself. And we gain 1 prestige for it. Battle of the English Channel. Of course, this happens because Germany, they have one of their traits is the Kaiser is very temperamental about losing capital ships. So usually every time you lose a capital ship, you're going to take a prestige hit. Alright, with that, we are well over time. So I need to wrap it up quickly. We had a major battle finally. I don't think that's going to put us... Well, between the last 2 major battles, we did knock down the amount of ships blockading us. Some of that being the ships headed elsewhere, which they're now down in South American West Coast, some of them in West Africa. The war is looking to be going interestingly, to put it one way. We'll see how it goes. It's going to be an interesting war. And with that, I'll call it to a close. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And I'll see you next time. Take care.